Welcome to CC 499, Film and Social Meaning, the Capstone Experience. This podcast is on how to decide on a topic. When you structure a topic for this class, you neither want it to be overly expansive nor too narrow. An overly expansive topic won't be effective because you won't be able to cover the films in anything like the proper amount of detail. You won't be able to prove your thesis. On the other hand, if your topic is too narrow, you're not going to meet the word count. I would like to see between 4,500 and 6,500 words. If you come in too low, you're not going to get a very good grade. Sometimes, when people know that they're coming in too low, they will produce too much summary. They will just simply detail what happened in the films rather than discuss why. The ideal project should have about 6 to 12 films, and they should share some contained interest, something they have in common. A film might share, a genre or a character or a trope or a filmmaker or actors. To this list, you could also add, cinematographers or costume designers or choreographers. Maybe, you want to look at the, all of the fight scenes done by a famous choreographer, for example. That would be a good topic. We're going to look at some examples of how to narrow a topic. If, for example, we consider science fiction, it's just too broad of a topic. Science fiction films have been made for well over 100 years, and there are thousands of them. So you should narrow it down by nationality, year of production, subgenre, all the way down to character types. For example, we could do a paper on the heroine in contemporary American sci-fi films. The question is, could we find 6 to 12 films that have a strong female protagonist? And I think the answer is yes. Obviously, Ellen Ripley from Alien, played by Sigourney Weaver, in Ridley Scott's sort of genre-challenging piece, all the way to Sandra Bullock in Gravity. I think there are more than enough films to structure a good topic. You could look at characters. For example, that's Colin Firth in Tom Ford's A Single Man, and he's a university professor. So why not look at the American professor in contemporary film? Do we have enough? Yeah, we do. So, for example, over there you see Stellan Skarsgård in Thor, ironically playing a professor when he also played one in Good Will Hunting. But there are definitely 6 to 12 films that feature this iconic character. You could also develop a topic by trope. A trope is a persistent image, theme, or device that carries meaning. You might even say a film cliché. This is what I specialize in writing about and presenting about at scholarly conferences. I've spoken about bookshelves in films, for example. But there are plenty of tropes out there. Parting scenes at train stations all take a similar format. People getting good smack, they take the same format. As a simple example, and one that I'm going to do for a couple of podcasts, I'm going to look at the Mexican standoff. Mexican standoff is a scene in which 2 or more characters reach a stalemate in negotiations, pull a gun on one another, and try and stare each other down. This is a common trope. You can see it in a lot of movies by Quentin Tarantino, Reservoir Dogs, True Romance, you name it, it's in there. Pulp Fiction. But you can also find it in things like In Bruges, in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, in every single film by John Woo, but most importantly in The Killer, and so on. The little picture there you see is a still from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Now, these are topics. They're not theses. To go from topic to thesis, you're going to have to develop a film list of 6 to 12 films, at least, maybe more, so you can narrow it down. You're going to need to watch each movie at least twice. You're going to need to make notes. And you're going to try and figure out what you might be able to prove based on your observations. And in that, this class is kind of like science in that you have to have a hypothesis that you can prove with evidence. The evidence is going to be primarily taken from the films, but also secondary scholarship. This capstone has to present a provable argument. It can't just be your opinion. If you're at a loss, write down your last 20 iTunes, Amazon, Netflix, or real-world movie experiences. Or you can write down your top 10 all-time favorite movies. Or you can write down 5 movies you've seen more than 5 times each. Ask yourself, what do these films have in common? Why did I like them? Why did I go and see them? Do they have like a character in common, or an actor, a cinematographer, or a bunch written by the same person? Maybe it's a common plot point. Maybe you really like movies about escape, or deceit, or divorce. To help yourself out, take notes on these films, just basic ones to start. Go to IMDb and track nationality and year of production, the director, the writer, the cinematographer, the major actors. You're going to need that information for documenting each film anyways. And eventually you're going to have to learn how to do that in MLA format. So what do I want you to do? I want you to watch a lot of movies, and by the end of the first 2 weeks of term, you should have a topic decided. The topic may need to be developed, refocused, reshaped, and then narrowed down into a thesis. Next time one of these podcasts gets posted, it'll be time to decide on a film list. You'll need to document that list in proper MLA and begin research. Text me if you want. Call me if you need. Those details are on the syllabus. See you later.